Hi, welcome to another episode of Mr. Marty. Well, I'm wearing a white shirt today on Sunday morning, maybe kind of in tune with all the folks going to church this morning, which I'm not, and wearing white shirts. Of course, they have ties and stuff, but I need to start calling this existential Sundays because something about Sunday mornings. I guess it's when many Americans gather and they go to their houses of worship and a time of renewal for them and their spiritual beliefs. And by the way, the music is much better today at Starbucks. It's big band music from the 40s, so I'm really kind of digging it. So I wanted to talk about something that helps me to not just stay positive, but to prioritize things in my life. And it's going to sound kind of macabre, it's going to sound kind of bizarre, but it will help you. It will help you if you do this. And so I urge you to do what I'm about to explain to you. So I've titled this, You Only Have a Year to Live, okay? Because one of the things, here's what's interesting. So, we're born in this world and we're cognizant at an early age of death. I mean, even if we don't, see it up close and personal, thank goodness many of us don't. If we're fortunate enough not to have real life experiences with that, we actually see it on, movies, TV, novels are filled with it. Our relatives, our mothers, our fathers all talk about grandma so-and-so who passed away. And so we are cognizant of death. But our minds, as we grow older and we grow into young men and young women, and we're 21 and 22, and we're looking for a wife and for a husband and to have kids, and the world is new, and death is the furthest thing from our mind. But even as we age, the mind plays this strange trick on you in the sense that, obviously, we're cognizant of death. And the old saying, there's nothing certain in life but death and taxes. And we know that. And we know that at some point we're going to pass away from this world. Robin Williams in the film Dead Poets Society, when he's taking those young men in and showing them those pictures, and he said, "Boys, all these people are gone, and you will be too. One day you're going to turn cold, stop breathing, and you're going to be worm food." And he does that to kind of jolt his students into thinking about what they want to do, and what their contributions to this world. And so I wanted to do this video and talk about what helps me, and that is a mental exercise to try to get around this little trick that your mind plays. Because your mind says, well, yes, death is a certainty, but that's far away, that's vague. And so our minds basically, keep death at the concept of death or thinking about death as at a distance. And our human minds say, well, but it's vague. You don't know when you're going to die. It could be, 40 years from now or whatever. So don't even think about it. Don't even think, just do what you're going to do. The problem with that is that now that it's, our mind has tricked us into thinking that almost like we're going to live forever, that we basically, put off stuff that we should do. We don't spend as much time with our loved ones as we should. We don't tell our loved ones that we love them, and to me, that's it leads us down the wrong path. What helps me stay positive, what helps me to prioritize things in my life, is this mental exercise. You sit down and you tell yourself, you convince yourself, you really try to put yourself in this frame of mind that you only have a year to live. That you went to the doctor and he says, hey, the test came back, and I'm sorry, but I don't enjoy telling anyone this, but you've only got a year. Maybe you'll live longer than that, but you'll be incapacitated in a nursing home. You'll be out of your mind, whatever. And there's all kinds of horrific things. Alzheimer's, cancer. There's horrific things that can befall us out there. And so what helps me, and that's one of the reasons I'm moving to Salt Lake, And it's one of the reasons that I'm not going to be doing parking enforcement anymore, but I'm going to be an infant teacher. What helps me is to say, okay, Mr. Marty, you've got 1 year. That's it. That's it. You have 1 year to live. What do you want to do with that year? What do you want to do? If you're in a relationship, do you still want to be in that relationship with that person after a year? Or maybe, you're married. I don't know, maybe marriage is bad or something. Do you want to be working that particular job? Now, all of us can't just quit our jobs and say, oh, we're going to go live in La La Land. We have to work. So we can't say, well, I've only got a year to live, so I'm going to quit my job and go move to the Caribbean. Few of us have those financial resources to do that. But, we do have to work jobs. But, what kind of job do you want to work? Who do you want to work for? Your current, I love my current employers. But the job itself of, writing parking tickets all day and whatever, I don't want to be doing that. I'm working outside, I'm in the heat all day, and, I don't want to be doing that if I've only got a year to live. If I only have a year, I don't want to be doing that. What do I want to be doing in a year? I want to be in the infant room. I want to be with those babies. My goodness, I want to be feeding them and burping them and playing with them and helping them to learn and achieve, and reading them stories and singing to them and teaching them and connecting with them in a very, very meaningful way. That's what I want to do. And I want to be around other people who want to do exactly what I want to do. I want to be around other people who love kids. And I want to work for somebody. I want to work for a daycare, i.e. Bright Horizons. Sorry, keep throwing in Bright Horizons. I love Bright Horizons. And I am so grateful and so thankful that I have a job there and I'm going to be working for them. But that's what I want to do. Because, in watching that Jim Carrey motivational video, Dream Up a Good Life, that put me kind of on this path to be an infant teacher, but also doing this mental exercise where I only have 1 year. 1 year to live. And so, I'm just here to tell you that in order to really stay on the positive side, in order to really prioritize, that's what you need to do too. Because your mind will keep this concept of death, of finality, of the fact that at some point your life is going to end. It's going to keep that in this vague, netherworld that is not tangible. And that vagueness leads you down this path of getting caught up in stuff. Let me tell you a quick story. There's a guy I know, a business owner. He has a little girl, and he teaches her all the wrong lessons. And they went, and he's well off. They're a very successful business. And he went to McDonald's over the weekend to like many Americans, pick up a Happy Meal for his daughter. And he gets back to the house, and they didn't include fries in the Happy Meal. And the little girl was just flipping out and whatever. Well, he could have used that as a teaching moment. He could have said, well, honey, these are hard jobs at McDonald's, and maybe the person just forgot to put our fries in, but that's okay. It's just French fries, and we'll get something else, and we'll do something else or whatever. Instead, he packs his daughter up. He goes back to the McDonald's, and with his little daughter kind of watching, he berates the manager and the workers, calls them, despicable names, in this angry tirade in front of his daughter over the fact that they didn't include French fries in the Happy Meal. He just, goes great. And he teaches her all the wrong lessons. But would he have done that? If he knew he only had a year to live, or he had convinced himself that he only has a year to live? Would he have done that? And the answer is probably no, because it would have refocused his mind on, okay, so you're upset your daughter didn't get French fries with her Happy Meal or whatever. It would refocus his mind on what are the real priorities. Is it really that big of an issue that your daughter didn't get fries with her Happy Meal and you feel the need to go and and berate and get upset with the folks working there. You know, our lives are finite. We've only got so much time, and who knows how much time we have. But in order to maximize what time we do have on this earth, I urge all of you to do this mental exercise. Sit down and tell yourself, I've only got a year to live. I've only got a year to live. A year of being healthy, a year of being active. I've got 1 year. What do I want to do in that year? I'm going to tell you. Now that I kind of went through the mental exercise, I'm just going to kind of tell you the benefits that I see in my life in doing that. I've told people, my coworkers and my boss, that I love them, because I do love them. And I don't want one more minute to go by and they don't know how much I appreciate them. My new boss up in Salt Lake, Allison, I've told her on many occasions how grateful I am that she's given me this opportunity, and I will never forget that, and how much I appreciate her, and how much I appreciate Bright Horizons, and how much I appreciate everyone that works there. I wrote a letter to one of the infant teachers that I was very impressed with in Salt Lake, and I told her what a wonderful infant teacher she is, because she is, and I'm in awe of her. Her name is Miss Christine. She's wonderful with these babies. I call her the baby whisperer. She's wonderful with them, and I want her to know that, because I don't know how long I have. I don't know any of these things, but telling yourself that you've only got a year to live, living your life as if you've only got 1 year to live, that helps you to do the things that I've just discussed. So not only do you, the benefits that I've seen in my life, not only does it make me more positive, and that I take the time and the effort to really connect with people and really tell people that I love them. The other thing, I don't get upset over the small stuff. Hey, you know what, dude? I didn't get fries in my Happy Meal. That's cool, because I'm still happy. You know what I'm saying? Not that I get Happy Meals, or not that I eat at McDonald's. I generally don't. But it helps me. Anything that happens, you know, someone almost runs into me in my golf cart or something, or whatever, or someone gets upset. Because, you know, my coworker Scott, I made a video where Scott was saying, wow, you're so calm and collected when people are cussing you out and they're upset when you write them parking tickets. And it's like, well, hey, you know what? Life is short. I'm not, you know, I don't have time for this, dude. I really don't. I don't have time to like get into some kind of, you know, spitting contest, you know, angry stuff with people. Forget that. My mind is centered on the priorities. And so on this Sunday morning, I call it existential Sundays, when I think about our existence, life, death, and no, I'm not going to quote Camus or Sartre. Those guys are kind of dark. I read those guys in college, and wow, the existentialist, those French philosophers of the mid 20th century are you know, they're very dark. But you know, just thinking about these things of life and death and our finite existence, you know, it helps you to live life to its fullest. Like Robin Williams in the film Dead Poets Society urges his students to do. Carpe diem, seize the day. Don't waste another moment on absolute nonsense and being diverted from what you need to do. So, here's my plea to you. Do this mental exercise. Tell yourself you've only got a year to live. It will focus your mind. It will enable you to prioritize, and the small stuff just melts away. You'll be happier. You'll be more positive, and you will prioritize and do the things that you need to do right now. Whether it's telling someone that you love them and you're appreciative of them and you care for them, or whether it's moving to a brand new city and living a completely different life and working a completely different job. Maybe it entails that. But whatever it entails, only you can do that. No one else can do that. You have to do that. So this is just another episode of Mr. Marty on an Existential Sunday, telling you that, hey, go out there, have a wonderful, positive day, and tell yourself, I've only got a year. What do I want to do in that year? Anyways, take care, my friends, and go out there and have an awesome day. Mr. Marty, take care.